Hello and welcome to the South Paris Arena. It's day 6 of the Goalball at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. It's quarter-final time on the women's side of the competition. People's Republic of China versus France is our first match, and it's Canada against Israel in our second game of the session. I'm delighted to welcome you along to Goalball, a sport unique to the Paralympic Games. It's one of two sports that doesn't have an Olympic equivalent. Goalball is designed for athletes with a vision impairment. All the players are required to wear patches and blackout eye masks to ensure a level playing field. It's a fast, physical, and highly entertaining game. The simple aim of Goalball is to try and throw a ball past your opponent and into the back of the net. It sounds really simple, but so much hard work goes into the game. Our first match, People's Republic of China against France. The winners of this quarter-final will face one of Canada or Israel in the semi-finals. Great support and atmosphere in the crowd at the South Paris Arena, making their voices heard before the game starts. But once the game gets underway, they will fall silent. It allows the players to hear the ball. French supporters have turned out in their numbers and have created a memorable atmosphere for the hosts and for all the teams competing here in Paris. Teams consist of 6 players with 3 members playing at any one time. The beauty of Goalball is players use a variety of different techniques to release the ball, including the 180 degrees turn, full rotation, and even some players throw the ball between their legs. People's Republic of China, 3-time Paralympic silver medalists against the hosts, France, competing at their first Paralympic Games. Wang Chunyang, number 6 for People's Republic of China, 12 goals in Paris so far, the top scorer in the women's side of the competition. Unbeaten in the pool stage. They've been excellent, People's Republic of China, so far. Paralympic debut for all the players. Adelia Ajami with the goal for France so far here in Paris. It's been a memorable experience. They've learnt a lot during their 3 games so far. And they come up against a very talented China team. Our referees from Jordan and Sweden. They'll be helping the coaches, the players, the crowd, and us at home guide us through the game. Their voices will be heard around the venue, and their calls are really important for the players out on the court. It's a sport that requires great physical and mental strength, as players can use any part of their body to block the ball. Communication is also very crucial between all the players on the court and the coaching staff in the team bench area. China start with their usual three. And Chunyan, excellent so far, 12 goals in total. French women's team established in 2016 and 8 years on, competing at their first Paralympic Games. The support has been incredible, and hope is that there'll be a legacy to the sport in France. Starting three, Alain, Jamy and Laurent-Pierre. Jamy with that goal. Just the one goal for France. It's going to be a tough game against China. Three-time Paralympic silver medalists. Zhang Xiaopeng, the head coach for People's Republic of China, guided the team to gold at the Asian Para Games. The court is separated into three sections. Either side of the centre line is the neutral area, and the two areas in front of the goals are the team area. Anthony Pio, coach since 2019, helped guide the team to 6th at the last European Championships and was in charge for their debut appearance at the IPSA World Championships. The team have improved really quickly over the last couple of years, preparing themselves for the Paralympic Games. The ball that the teams use is similar size to a basketball and has 2 bells inside and weighs 1.25 kilograms, which is similar to a standard bag of sugar that you'll find at home. It's a serious workout for the players. The ball has to also bounce twice when the players throw the ball, once in the team area and once in the neutral area. Our referees just checking the patching and the blackout eye shades of all the players. It's a process that the referees do before the start of a match and before the start of the second half. Players can use the frame of the goal to position themselves on the court, and the court markings are slightly raised, which allows the players to navigate their way around the court and get themselves set in a position.
Just a reminder, once the whistle blows, we must be silent for the player.
The French team soaking up the atmosphere. It's spine-tingling, it's brilliant.
France will start with the ball. White, please. Center.
People's Republic of China against France. Quarter-final here at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. And it's a great start for China. A goal inside 15 seconds. First throw, first goal.
Republic of China. Scored by number 2,
So Qianhua with the first goal of the game, her 5th here in Paris.
White, please.
China, 3-time Paralympic silver medalists. Off to a great start in this quarter-final. In Tokyo, they lost to Brazil in the quarter-finals. They've reached the final 3 out of the last 4 Paralympic Games. The crowd just getting a little bit excited for that block by Ajami, number 5. Players can mix up their style of throws. They can bounce the ball, spin the ball. As long as it bounces twice, once in the team area and once in the neutral area, anything goes. That's a good effort as well. Well stopped from Melda Alan, 19 years of age, playing in the centre for France.
Thank you. White, please.
Louis Ronde-Pierre competed at 2 European Championships and the World Championships for France. Players can use the frame of the goal to position themselves on the court, as well as the tactile court markings, which slightly raised so players can navigate their way around the court, in particular in that team area right in front of the goal. Centre player for the 2 teams will be the one to try and coordinate the defence. Communication really key in goalball. France, a team that have been steadily improving tournament on tournament. Good block by Ronde-Pierre. Players can use any part of their body to block the ball. Players will work in tandem to protect those pockets between the centre player and the wing players. Good teamwork between the 3 French players. Communication vital there to try and stop that ball crossing over the line. Players, once they make that initial save, will make sure to get back to the goal line in case the ball bounces in an awkward spot. Lovely effort that hits the post. Cross-court effort from Ronde-Pierre. Players will change up their angle of throws. They won't necessarily just go straight down the middle. They'll try and cross-court, spin the ball, bounce the ball, mix things up. And that's 2. for China. So Xuanhua gets the second goal for China.
Scored by number 2, Zhao Zhenhua. Time remaining 9 minutes and 17 seconds.
So Xuanhua gets her second goal of the match. 6th of these Paralympic Games. French team have done a lot of work away from the court to help promote the game in France, demonstrating the game and showing youngsters the blackout eye shades, for example. It's a great stage for this French team to promote the game. Wang Chunyan, top scorer in the competition in the women's side. 12 goals. Players will use different ways to pick up momentum in their throws. Full rotation throw. It's favoured by a lot of players. Allows players to pick up that momentum, that speed. In that limited team area in front of the goals, players will get creative, try and arc their runs as well. Ball over, back to China. So that ball crossed the centre line after the initial block by France, so it goes back to China. France make the block again. Off the crossbar, and it's kept out. Excellent save. The players will use their bodies almost like a bit of a ramp to try and deflect the ball onto the crossbar or over. They don't just lie flat, they arc their bodies, kick their feet up to try and deflect the ball up. Timeout call by France. Teams are allowed 4 timeouts through the match. They have to use 1 before half-time, otherwise they lose it, so they can't use all 4 in the second half. The teams get 45 seconds to get their message across to their players. It's a synthetic, resilient flooring, so it has a little bit of give. But players do wear pads on their elbows and knees. Using the frame of the goal to position themselves on the court, the players. China have scored the most goals so far out of the 8 teams in the women's side of the competition. That tally is now up to 18. China were in a really competitive group with Turkey, the current Paralympic gold medalists, Israel and Brazil. Fizzing that ball along the court. As long as the ball bounces twice, you can mix it up. Pierre favouring that cross-court effort. Often the centre player in goalball has more of the defensive organisation. Doesn't throw the ball as much. Melda Allan for France hasn't thrown the ball yet, but she's doing some really good defensive work. She'll just be slightly in front of the 2 wing players to try and cut off that angle, that pocket between the centre player and the wing players. Sometimes it's not always about how hard you can throw the ball. If you can get a bit of spin, you can bamboozle the opposition. Accuracy is also really key. That was inches away from, yeah, perfect throw. Right into the corner. Teams have 10 seconds to return the ball. That's a great effort. That whizzed across the court. And it's a third for China. Too much power on it for Roland Pierre.
People's Republic of China. Goal! Scored by number 2.
So, Wenhua with her 3rd goal of the game. Seven goals. Wenhua, 5 goals in Tokyo. Brilliant performance so far. And that was close, that was a tester. For Wang Chunyan. China only conceded 7 goals in their group. Which is impressive. Turkey with Sevda Oltunuluk, a brilliant attacking player. And Israel with Lihi Ben David, equally a very talented player. So to only concede 7 goals in the group is very impressive. Melda Allan doing well just to lift her body up off the court. You have to be agile. You can block the ball with any part of your body. And well kept out by France. Great work to clear that ball away. Jamy with another good block, sliding across the court. Benoit with another effort. 3 goals already in the match. Ball has to bounce twice, once in the team area, those 2 sections in front of the goal, and once in the neutral area. Those 2 zones either side of the centre line, but players can go right up towards the neutral area as long as it bounces. Once inside the team area, you can utilise that space as best you can. Really nice bouncing effort, but it's well positioned by Jamy. She digs into the court to try and get a bit of bounce. A long ball and a chance here for France. Wang Chuanyang conceding the long ball penalty, and France have an opportunity to score their 2nd goal at the Paralympics. It's wide. Chuanyang is in position to cover it. France coaching staff adamant that was a high ball. They were sure that ball didn't bounce inside the team area. Teams will come up with game plans. They'll try and rotate the direction of the throws. Might try and set up a routine and then try and catch out their opposition. Montpierre favouring that cross-court throw. Home crowd eager to applaud the great defensive work by Melda Allen, and again on the Pierre with the chance. Xiao Xianhua doing well to block the ball. Concentration levels are high. And it's a ball over, back to China. So if the ball crosses the centre line after you've made that defensive block, it goes back to the team who threw the ball. It's a great way of building up pressure. Jamy has scored France's only goal at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. France, relatively new to international goalball. The team was only established in 2016. And they are growing every tournament. They've been improving in every match. It's a long ball, so 2 long ball penalties against China. And France are given another opportunity to get their first goal of the game. Cao Xianhua conceding that long ball penalty. And France decide that a timeout is necessary to essentially create a bit of a game plan for this penalty throw. 53 seconds remaining in the first half. It was always going to be a tough game for France. China, 3-time Paralympic silver medalists, unbeaten so far here in Paris. But France are making it hard for China in this quarter-final. It's blocked again. Another chance goes by for France. It could have been a lot closer in the scoreline. That's 2 penalties missed by France. Teams will do a lot of work on the strategies of their opposition in terms of penalties. Coaching staff will have a look, see what patterns they use during the penalty process, which direction they throw the ball in. Oh, good work from Rhonda Pierre. Players can use any part of their body to block the ball, as long as it doesn't end up in the net. That's the main thing. Players can't touch their eye shades during the match. They have to wait for permission from the referee. All the players wear blackout eye shades. Timeout, China. China lead by 3-0, but France have had 2 chances to try and close the gap in the scoreline. France have frustrated China so far in this first half. France men's team cheering on their teammates. Final action of the first half. Half-time in this quarter-final at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. And China, the 3-time Paralympic silver medalists, are leading by 3-0, but it could have been a lot closer in the scoreline. And this France team whipping up the crowd because they know they've had chances. And they have caused some problems for China. Scoreline doesn't tell the full story at half-time. People's Republic of China 3, France 0 at half-time.
People's Republic of China's number 2, Zhao Zhen, who has scored 3 times. And we have seen a fantastic defense from France, number 3, Melda Alhan. France got 2 penalty throws in first half, but no goals so far. Let's see what happens.
Cao Kenhua with 3 big goals in this quarter-final. That was the first throw for China. Great start. Too much power for Ajami. Couldn't keep the ball out. Great teamwork from France to keep that one out. And again, the power, the spin on the ball. That made it 3-0 to China. France had their chances. That was the first penalty, missed by Ajami. The story of the game in the stats.
It's time for the count.
The crowd desperate to cheer on the hosts. It's going to be tough to quieten down this crowd before the start of the second half, but they will have to be silent when the game gets back underway. The French team have really enjoyed the wonderful atmosphere at the South Paris Arena.
Second half, between France on my left, China on my right. Half-time score, France 0, China 3. Half-time substitution, China out number 2 in number 1. China will start with the ball. White, please. Center.
Substitution, People's Republic of China, player out number 2, Zhao Zhenhua, and player in number 1, Chang Xiling.
White, please. Hey.
Eager to get this second half underway. People's Republic of China against France, quarter-final at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Zhang Xiling comes onto the court for China. 9 goals in Tokyo. And France get off to a brilliant start in this second half. That's the moment the crowd came for. Rhonda Pierre gets her first goal at the Paralympic Games. And France finally find the back of the net. Jubilation in the crowd. A moment to inspire a new generation of goalball players in France. How did China respond? An experienced team. Just the 8th goal China have conceded. Booted away by Melda Alhan. She has been so solid for France. 19 blocks in the match so far. Second highest amongst all the players out on the court. That's another one for Alan. And she does well to retrieve the ball after making the block. And does well to avoid a 10-second time penalty. She realised that the seconds were ticking down and you have to throw the ball within 10 seconds. That one crashes off the post. Wang Chunyen. Najami. Great bouncing effort. Safely into the path though. Well, Wang Chunyen. Take two. Sound coming from the spectator area. It has to be completely silent whilst the ball is in play. It allows the players to hear those two bells inside the ball. Players can use the frame of the goal. And the court markings are also slightly raised, so it allows the players to navigate their way around the court. 2 halves of 12 minutes. Clock stops every time the ball goes out. Communication really key in goalball. Communication by China mixing things up. Najami with the throw. Bouncing effort. Good reply and good work. Nice partnership between Najami and Alan. Sheeling with the throw and with the goal. Beautiful crisp finish. That fizzed across the courts, and that's the fourth for China, their first of the second half. Beautifully placed through that left pocket. No stopping that one. China, 3-time Paralympic silver medalists. Lost in the quarter-final in Tokyo. Previous 3 Paralympics before Tokyo. They reached the final. Aiming to try and go one better here in Paris. To try and win that gold medal. For France, first Paralympic Games. The team was only established in 2016. Interestingly, the women's side was created before the men's team. And the hope is there'll be a legacy after this Paralympic Games for the French team to grow, goalball to grow in the country. French team have been going around schools to demonstrate the game and show youngsters the blackout eye shades and the ball. They've been trying to use this home crowd to their advantage, whipping them up and cheering them on. Nice effort. Players use that full rotation style to try and generate power in their throws. It's a limited space, that team area, so any way you can create some speed, full rotation, or some players even bend their runs in the team area to try and create some power. Nice effort. Ball bouncing twice, once in the team area, once in the neutral area. Players can try and spin the ball, bounce the ball. Good bouncing effort this time. Melda Alam, she has been everywhere. Agile across the court. She's made the most amount of blocks out of anyone on the court. She's gone through a lot of defensive work. Wanda Pierre makes the block this time. French coaching staff adamant that was a penalty. Beautiful finish once again through that left pocket. Whipped in.
People's Republic of China.
Beautiful rotation. Great release.
Time remaining 7 minutes.
Yang Xiling, second goal of the game. Great impact coming off the team bench. Timeout call by France. China been a little bit more disciplined in this second half. Conceded 2 personal penalties in the first 12 minutes. 2 long ball penalties. Teams always trying to avoid giving away personal penalties or team penalties. Chance for France. And just as I mentioned that China had been better at not conceding those personal penalties. Long ball against Yang Xiling. And France get their second of the match. It's third time lucky for Ajami. It's a second goal for France. Just didn't get the timing quite right. She was in the right position, but the body just lifted as the ball came into her path. Ajami, second goal here in Paris. Her first of the match. Instant reply, though, from China. A touch of class. Yang Xiling, well, no goals before the quarter-final and 3 in this second half. She may have conceded a penalty, but she's been brilliant in the attacking part of the game. France really to try and shore up that right pocket that gap between the centre player and the right winger for France. 3 times. Zhang Xiling has managed to get through that pocket. Cao Qianhua comes onto the court. Floor getting mopped. Has to be as clean as possible. The players don't slip over when they are making their throws. Referees trying their best to calm down this crowd inside the South Paris arena. Using the frame of the goal to position himself on the court. Cao Qianhua with the throw. And Chen Yen with the save, the number 6. Yet to score in this game. Top scorer in the women's side of the competition with 12 goals. Understandably, the crowd eager to cheer on France when they make that block. But they have to keep quiet until the ball is under the team's control. Squeezes it through. And once again, that left pocket is causing problems. Cao Qianhua with 4th goal in the game. And again. A sizzling throw. The power behind that throw. Incredible. 5 goals. That's 9 goals in total for Cao Qianhua. And still the home crowd get behind France. It was always going to be a really tough game. It's a very talented China team, unbeaten so far here in Paris. 3-time Paralympic silver medalists. China qualified by winning the gold medal at the ISR World Games, which were held in Birmingham last year. Gold at the Asia Pacific Games. They're in fine form and one of the favourites to win the gold medal here in Paris. It's a great learning experience for this French team. The team was only set up 8 years ago. And that's a 9th for China. They're motoring. Wang Chunyan finally gets on the score sheet. 13th goal at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. 30 throws in the match. And finally gets a goal. Teams have 10 seconds to return the ball after they've made the defensive block. It's a quick game, Goalball. Ball weighs 1.25 kilograms, which is similar to a standard bag of sugar at home. That's a brilliant bouncing effort. That was right on the edge of the neutral area. Although the France coaching staff don't agree. Squeeze through under Melda Allen. It kept low. It skidded across the court. 6th of the match. Cao Qianhua. 6 goals in the match, and that's 10 now overall here at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. And China, if they score the next 2 goals, will win the game. The team are 10 goals ahead at any stage of the match. The game will finish, known as the mercy rule in goalball. .26 goals now for China overall. But that's a long ball. And France have been given another opportunity. Blocked. Another one goes by. China have conceded 4 long ball penalties. And that's another long ball. Discipline. It's blocked again. China are getting away with this. That's 5 long ball penalties they've conceded in the game. The scoreline could be a lot closer. Trying it again, though, with that bouncing effort. It's going to be a ball over back to China. Cross back over the centre line from the defensive block. Wang Chunyan comes off for China. the top scorer in the women's side of the competition. 1 goal in the game, but she's given away a couple of long ball penalties. Something to work on going forward. A long ball penalty is where the ball doesn't bounce inside the neutral area. That's the 2 zones either side of the centre area. The ball has to bounce twice. Once inside the team area, those 2 sections right in front of the goal. And then once in the neutral area, 2 zones either side of that centre line. Pierre has been favouring that cross-court effort throughout the match. Has worked. She's already got a goal so far. Into the back of the net. Tucked away into the corner, cross court. Wang Chunhua off the team bench onto the score sheet. And China are 1 goal away now. If they score the next one, that'll be that. The team are 10 goals ahead at any stage of the game. The match will finish. It's the 12th for China, and that's the goal that will seal their place into the semi-finals of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. They found it tough in the first half, but it was a clinical performance in the second. France up against a really tough opponent in China. Can be so proud of their efforts here in Paris. A team that was only established 8 years ago. And they had moments in the game, France. China conceded 5 long ball penalties. That'll be something that they'll be working hard on moving forward into the semi-finals. Other teams will take those chances. Smiles on the French team though. What an experience it's been for them, competing at a Paralympic Games for the very first time, playing some of the best teams in the world. China, the 3-time Paralympic silver medalists, are through to the semi-finals. And now the crowd can make some noise. Memories made for this French team. Competing at a home Paralympic Games. Memories to treasure. And they'll keep learning, they'll keep growing. If people didn't know goalball in France, they certainly do now. People's Republic of China are through to the semi-finals.
Nous espérons que vous avez apprécié ce premier match. Le second de cette même session sera un match de quart de finale opposant le Canada et Israël à 15h15. Vos tickets restent valables. Profitez de la journée et profitez de la compétition. Merci d'avoir fait partie des Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024. On se retrouve donc à 15h15.
We hope you have enjoyed the first game of the session. Thank you for being part of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Audience, please stick around.
Story of the game
good
in the statistics.
Also, and next game here at South Paris Arena 6.
China making 81 blocks compared to France's 67.
Game between Canada and Israel.
And a clinical 12 goals in the match.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day and enjoy the competition.
People's Republic of China will play one of Canada or Israel in the semi-finals.
Le comité d'organisation de Paris 2024 tient à remercier tous les volontaires pour le temps et le dévouement qu'ils consacrent à la réussite des Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024.
The Paris 2024 Organizing Committee would like to thank all volunteers for their time and dedication toward making the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games a success.
Reportez votre attention sur les écrans vidéo pour revivre les meilleurs moments de ce match.
People's Republic of China through to the semi-finals. France will play in the classification matches.
check, check.
du service d'audio-description et de commentaires en direct. Scannez le QR code sur l'écran vidéo. Le service est disponible une fois connecté sur l'application officielle Paris 2024.
Make the most of our audio description and live commentary service. Scan the QR code on the video board and it's available once you log in to the official Paris 2024 app.
session va commencer. Le Canada contre l'Israël. Le Canada qui a gagné contre la France 10-0, perdu contre le Japon d'un but et un match nul contre le Japon. En l'occurrence, l'Israël a gagné contre le Brésil 8-4, s'incline face à la Turquie et également contre la Chine 5 buts. Ce match s'annonce très excitant. On a hâte que ça commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, very shortly starting at South Paris Arena 6, women's second quarterfinal game, Canada against Israel. Winner will play against People's Republic of China on Wednesday's semi-finals, and Canada plays second on Pool D, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat, 4 points. Meanwhile, Israel placed third on Pool C, 1 win, 0 draws and 2 defeats, 3 points, and top scorers from these teams. Canada number 5, Emma Reikes with 7 goals, and Israel number 4, Ormi Zerahi, and number 6, Lihi Ben David, both scored 6 times. We are having an exciting game coming very shortly. Women's second quarterfinal. Let's see who is going to semi-finals. It's now time to meet our athletes. Please welcome the teams Canada and Israel.
Nous allons maintenant découvrir les joueuses du Canada.
Now it's time to meet the players from Canada.
Numéro 1.
Number 1, Mariam Saleh-Izadeh.
Numéro 3.
Number 3, Whitney Bogart.
Numéro 4.
Number 4, Megan Mahon.
Numéro 5.
Number 5, Emma Reinke.
Numéro 6.
Number 6, Brianne Tracy Kelly Bulldog.
Et numéro 7.
Number 7, Amy Berg.
Et l'entraîneur.
Coach Trent Fairbrother.
L'assistant entraîneur.
Assistant coach Claude Gagnon.
Et responsable du stade.
Staff Megan Buttle.
Nous allons maintenant découvrir les joueuses d'Israël.
Now it's time to meet the players from Israel.
Numéro 1.
Number 1, Elham Mohamed Rosin.
Numéro 2.
Number 2, Noah Malka.
Numéro 3.
Number 3, Gol Amrani.
Numéro 4.
Number 4, Or Mizrahi.
Numéro 5.
Number 5, Rudy Ohayon.
Et numéro 6.
Number 6, Lihi Ben David.
Et l'entraîneur.
Coach Raj Shoham.
Et l'assistant à l'entraîneur.
Assistant coach Mohamed Abu Ayash.
Et le responsable du stade.
Staff Ariel Fuerte.
Les arbitres sont
The referees for the match are Sarah Cooper from Germany and Raguel Aguado from Spain.
Et maintenant, pour partager l'esprit sportif international, la traditionnelle poignée de main d'avant-match des deux équipes.
And now in the show of international sportsmanship, both teams will exchange pre-game handshakes.
Les équipes vont maintenant s'échauffer. Nous vous rappelons que le silence est très important dans cette compétition et vous demandons de respecter la haute concentration dont les athlètes doivent faire preuve dans ce sport.
The teams will now warm up and we remind you that silence is highly important for this competition. Athletes require high concentration, therefore we expect everyone to act in a respectful manner during the competition.
It's the quarterfinals. of the Paris 2024 Women's Goalball competition. We've got an intriguing matchup ahead of us at the South Paris Arena as the Para-Pan Am champions of Canada face the European silver medalists, Israel. Canada's side seems totally transformed from the team that didn't progress from the group stages in Tokyo 2020. Although the Canada squad has stayed the same, the results couldn't have been more different. They've secured their place in today's quarterfinals with some impressive performances in the pool stage. And that is the route to the medals for both of these two sides. And the winner of this match will play People's Republic of China. It'll be a tough task for whoever prevails here on court. But right now they have to think about what's ahead of them. Canada be delighted to have made it to this quarterfinal, but memories of Tokyo behind them. Israel, meanwhile, knocked out in the quarterfinals, both Rio and Tokyo Paralympics. They'll be hoping to go one better in Paris, secure a place in the semi-finals, third time of asking. So just a few minutes until the second of today's quarterfinals get underway. But before we get going, allow me to tell you a bit more about this fantastic sport and the two teams that are taking to court today. Aim of the game, score as many goals as you can, while blocking your own goal as effectively as you possibly can. And the team with the highest number of goals wins. And if you win by 10 clear goals, then that's the end of the match. And as we look at the run-ins, neither of these sides had quite the run-in they might have expected, but it's been a tough old group on this side of the draw. And with this women's event having 8 teams, there's certainly no easy matchups. As we see Canada starting to take shape on court. It's a consistent squad for Canada, same 6 players as took to court in Tokyo. Emma Rainker was the hero of the Para-Pan American Games, scored a hat-trick in the final. She's been Canada's top scorer so far with 7 goals. And that Canada run-in, they got off to a great start against the host France. Narrow loss to Japan, then a 0-0 draw. 0-0 draw, very rare in goalball. There we have the Israel side. Lehi Ben David, number 6, Israel's main attacking option. Both her and number 4, Or Mizrahi, scored plenty of goals in this tournament. Israel, also in a difficult group, started well against Brazil. Then 2 defeats, lost by just 1 goal to defending gold medalist Turkey. Very impressive results, and they fought very hard. Lots to take from that result. And there we have our referees. They will be calling the fouls during this match, and we'll talk you through the different types of goalball fouls as this game progresses. And they'll also be supervising the pre-match eye shades checks. It's those eye shades that mean players of different levels of visual impairment can play alongside one another. It's strictly forbidden for players to touch their own eye shades while the ball's in play. That's why the officials conduct the process before the match. Israel in their 3rd Paralympic Games got to the quarterfinal, both their 2 previous attempts. And they won't want to make it a hat-trick of quarterfinal runs. They'll want to go one further. And they've got a really good chance today against Canada. They'll need that number 6, Lehi Ben David, to be on form, and no surprise to see that starting 3. Mizrahi and Ben David being Israel's 2 attacking threats. Expect them to take their place on the wings. Ronnie, a high-end number 5, starting centre of court. discover Canada's starting three. Bogart, Reinke, Burke. It's been the same starting three that has given them success over the past few years. Reinke, in particular, capable of providing plenty of goals. She's been Canada's top scorer in the group stages. They need her to be on top form today against some very high-quality opposition in the form of Israel. This is your first time taking in the sport of goalball. Best to think of that court in terms of 3/3. You've got your own team's third, the neutral third, and the opposition third. For a throw to be a legal throw, it has to bounce both in your area of court and the neutral third. Otherwise it will be a penalty. Penalties in goalball one-on-one, so it can be very costly indeed. And the fans have been brilliant all throughout this tournament. And they'll have to be absolutely silent while the ball's in play. Players need to be able to hear the sound of the ball. But for the moment, they can make as much noise as they like, and the atmosphere's brilliant in the South Paris arena. Canadian coach Trent Fairbrother competed for Canada not just in goalball but para-athletics too. Competed in discus and pentathlon in 1984. Now he's gone from player to coach in the sport of goalball. He coached them to their very impressive win in the Para-Pan Ams last year in Santiago. Israel coach Raz Shoham was the Israel coach for their two previous Paralympics in Rio and Tokyo. Also coached the men's side. He's coached wheelchair basketball as well, so very versatile coach. And now with just a minute until the opening throw, now we have the patching process. Each official oversees the application of the eye shades for one of these teams. And once these eye shades are applied, these players aren't allowed to touch them while the ball's in play. And with these eye shades on, these players cannot see anything, so they have to rely entirely on the sound of the ball and the feel of the textured lines on court. So as we count down to the opening throws, let's listen in as we hear the officials give the early instructions to the players at the South Paris arena.
This game is between Israel on my left and Canada on my right. I would like to remind everybody to keep quiet while the ball is in play and switch off your mobile phone. Thank you. Canada starts with the ball. Quiet, please. Center. Play.
Canada against Israel in the women's quarterfinal. And a place in the semi-final would mean so much, both these sides. It's a feat that's eluded them in recent Paralympic goalball history. But now they're just one match away from giving themselves a really good shot at the podium places. And now we see the early throws, we see how these teams are shaping up in terms of formation. sense of, well, what an early success from Lihi Ben David. Israel could not have asked for a better start. Just seconds on the clock, and it's the powerful throwing arm of Lihi Ben David finds the gap through Whitney Bogart and Emma Reinke, and that is a brilliant start from Israel's sharpshooter. Ben David was flag bearer at the opening ceremony for Israel. She's an icon of Israeli parasport. She's got Israel off to a fantastic start there. What a confidence builder for them. Mizrahi's throw well blocked by Amy Burke. Canada's defence has been superb all tournament, conceded very few goals. It's been an area of their game they've been really working on, but they'll be disappointed to have conceded so early in this quarter-final. Now Reinke to throw. Blocked, and some colourful hair on display amongst the Israeli trio. Ben David to throw once again. Got the purple hair of Mizrahi, the blue hair of El Hayon on court. And that was Ben David, the other member of the Israeli trio, with a promising looking throw. Burke's throw well blocked, and going to have Mizrahi to throw, advancing up court. Both these sides play in a fairly traditional way, with the centre and the two wing players. Some of the women's sides play a bit more fluidly. You'll see them swapping interchangeably between wing and centre positions, but very much traditional route as Ben David shapes up to throw again. Traditionally the centre will block, pass to the wing, and here we have the wing of Amy Burke blocked, and Israel can breathe a bit more easily. Brilliant start from them. Mizrahi advances up court. Can Canada rescue this before it goes over halfway? Yes, they can. And if you're wondering why Whitney Bogart just put the ball out, these players have 10 seconds to put the ball in play once it comes into their possession. And Bogart deciding better to put the ball out, concede possession rather than risk a penalty. Penalties in goalball are one-on-one, which, with the imposing size of that net, makes them very difficult to defend. Here's Ben David, blocked by Reinke. Reinke limbering up to throw. Collective effort from Israel to keep the ball out. Mizrahi. Amy Burke. It's the body of Ben David. She's already been on the score sheet once. Can she do it again? Just wide of the post from Ben David. Pretty sure Amy Burke had it covered on that far side, but another sign of what Israel can do. Reinke's throw. Reinke was instrumental in getting Canada to this competition, scored a flurry of goals in the Para-Pan Am final against the USA. Mizrahi from a different side of court to what we usually see. Goalball all about finding that element of surprise, attacking from unfamiliar areas of court, using unfamiliar throws. You see a lot of variety as these players try and find a way to make a breakthrough. Ben David throwing from centre of court, another example of that. They'd be expecting to have one fired in from the wing from Ben David. Now Reinke to throw. Mizrahi advancing aggressively up court, moving right up to the high ball line. Now it's Burke to return, slightly slower ball from her. Roll of pace, really interesting in goalball. Slower ball can sometimes make less noise. And these players rely on the noise of the ball in order to work out where to position themselves. Amy Burke here in her 5th Paralympic Games. Straight at Ben David. Ben David responds. That's Emma Reinke. Steadies herself on the goal. Blocked, and Israel throwing from centre of court today. Oh, with the ball scrabbles towards the goal line, but Emma Reinke had it covered. Reinke once again. Blocked and given to Ben David. Ben David going from the other wing this time. Goes for the straighter ball, but Reinke dealt with it well. And a chance for a bit of a breather. It's been a frantic opening few minutes in this quarter-final. The goal from Leahy Ben David, still the only difference between these sides. Ooh, a bit of a collision between Amy Burke and Whitney Bogart. Looks like they're both going to be okay. Really is impressive how these players mostly manage to keep out of each other's way while they're wearing those eye shades. And Trent Fairbrother wisely taking the opportunity to call the timeout. Took a big fall there, so let's check everyone's okay. Amy Burke shaping up to throw, and it was Whitney Bogart she collided with. And a good opportunity to take a timeout. You have to use a timeout in the first half, otherwise you lose it, so a little better time to use it than after a collision like that. It really is incredible. 99% of the time, these players have such good situational awareness, they manage to stay out of each other's way. You do sometimes get collisions, and they are often quite heavy. But great to see Canadia's trio all okay. Ben David just mixing it up, throwing from both wing. Both of the wings, she's trying a bit of variety. Try and catch Canada by surprise. Slightly slower ball from Mizrahi, but trying to catch Canada unawares, but not succeeding on that occasion. Oh, Ben David, and the ball ricochets off Amy Burke into the back of the net. That is unlucky from Canada. And it was a throw with real force and precision from Ben David. Canada found it hard to deal with, and it was off the forearm of Amy Burke to double the Israeli lead. And it's another goal for Leahy Ben David. How will Canada respond? Just about halfway through this first half, trailing by 2 goals. Now Reinke bounces herself off the frame of the goal to give her a bit of momentum. Ben David, she's looked imperious so far. She's on a hat-trick. Blocked by Bogart. Ball's in the arm of Amy Burke. Mizrahi throwing quite aggressively, advancing quite far up the court, just short of the high ball line. Now Reinke with the throw. Feels like she hasn't quite got going yet, Emma Reinke. She's capable of producing a lot in the way of goals. Canada to progress to the semi-final. Certainly needs her on the score sheet. Now Mizrahi manoeuvring around the Israeli centre. Gathered by Burke. Steadies herself on the goal. Players use every opportunity to try and work out their position on the court. Israel call the timeout. They will be absolutely delighted with how that first half has played out. Israel went out at the quarter-final stage in their 2 previous Paralympic Games. It would be their first ever semi-final should they progress. Canada, meanwhile, feel like they have a bit more to offer. Emma Reinke, we've seen how prolific she can be throughout the tournament. It feels like she's got some big throws left in her. But they'll need to find a way through this very impressive Israeli defensive line. Not least Ronnie Ahayon in the Israeli centre. It's Ben David once again. There was a lot of force on that ball. In fact, so much force, I think it might have dislodged some eye shades on court. These players aren't allowed to touch their own eye shades, so if they feel the eye shades get dislodged, they have to put up their hand and the officials come on and sort it out. And it's a good example of the pace and ferocity of these throws, and also the way these players hurl themselves around the court. Now Reinke goes cross court, trying to find the gap, find an area of weakness in the Israeli trio, but they've been holding firm so far. Ben David blocked by Reinke. Slightly slower ball from Reinke. Straight back up on her feet by Mizrahi, but ball goes wide. Quite a powerful weapon in goalball. If once you come into possession of the ball, if you can launch a throw relatively quickly. Oh, it's off the post. Tipped onto the post by Mizrahi. It's the closest Canada have come to a goal. And it's Amy Burke. A real fingertip save from Mizrahi. Ben David mixing it up from the other side of court. These wings are playing quite interchangeably on the Israeli side. As Canada, a bit of a more fixed approach. So Ahayon put the ball out there. Israel couldn't quite work out what they wanted to do with it. And there's a 10-second shot clock, so they're at risk of giving away a penalty, so better to give away possession than risk a penalty one-on-one. Amy Burke goes for the corner, and once again it's tipped wide by Mizrahi. She's looking pretty solid defensively for Mizrahi. Ben David. And because the ball goes over halfway, Israel are going to have another go, so no respite for Canada. Mizrahi. Good Canadian defensive work. Defence has been an area that Canada have been trying really hard to work on. They only conceded 2 goals in their 3 group games, but 2 goals down in this quarter-final already. Shows the power of this Israeli attack, especially this woman, Lehi Ben David. Canada team has been on a long journey since Tokyo. Lots of changes, not in personnel, but team ethos, style of play. And one of those changes has been shoring them up defensively, but they've conceded 2 goals in this first half. Finding it hard to deal with Lehi Ben David. Reinke's throw, and just about kept out by Mizrahi. Mizrahi bounces off the post and launches a throw on goal. Players often use the frame of the goal for momentum, propel themselves back into play. Quick response from the Israeli centre. It's not often you see her launching a throw on goal. Now Reinke. Comfortably gathered by Mizrahi. Ben David. Canada have started to stem the flow of Israel goals, but they need a goal of their own, and likely from Emma Reinke, the number 5. Ben David. Blocked by Reinke. Now Bogart gives the ball to Amy Burke. And again, it's tipped wide by Mizrahi, who's putting in a big shift on that near side. Made a few important blocks. Now she goes from defence to attack. Blocks by Reinke. She's got 10 seconds to get this throw away. It's incredible the kind of internal shot clock that these players have. Very rare to see a 10-second penalty in goalball. And Israel making a change. Mizrahi is saying she'd been right in the thick of things, both defence and attack, and she's going to make way. Ella Mohamed Ruzin coming on. At the age of 15, she couldn't find a women's goalball team, so she helped to set one up. She was the first team member. And here she is representing Israel in a Paralympics quarter-final. As things stand, Israel would be heading to the semis, but lots more action ahead of us. And the first throw from Mohamed Ruzin. Blocked by Reinke. Ben David moves from the centre to the wing position. Tries to move quietly so she doesn't give any clues about her whereabouts to the Canadian side. When these players move cross-court, they try not to make any sound with the ball. Might give their location away. Now the substitute, Mohamed Ruzin. Blocked by the legs of Bogart. Bogart's actually playing alongside her sister-in-law, believe it or not. Very much a family affair. On the Canadian side, and the ball goes wide of the post. Another threatening throw from the Israeli trio. I wonder if we'll see Canada making a change soon. Feels like they need to mix something up a bit. Slower ball from Amy Burke, but well intercepted and well interpreted from Israel. It'll be particularly hard to decipher those slower balls. Now Reinke goes for the corner, but wide of the post. Mohamed Ruzin. It's a bounce on that one, but gathered by Bogart. Burke advancing up court, and it's off the post, and Israel just about keep it out. It's always dangerous when the ball's in the air, because the ball makes less noise when it's airborne. So it's very hard to defend. Unfortunately for Israel, the ball fell the right side of the post from their perspective. Now Reinke's throw. As we approach the final throws in this first half. Israel with a fairly comfortable lead. Burke, she starting right on the touchline. Going for the slower ball. Trying to add a bit of variation. Israel are intercepting it pretty well. And it's the hat-trick for Lehi Ben David. And Israel close off the first half in the best possible way. Lehi Ben David finds the gap. And a brilliant display of attacking goalball from Lehi Ben David.
Time remaining 49 seconds.
And there's a reason she's been such an integral member of Israeli goalball squads through the years. She has a really potent throw on her. She's so hard to defend. And Canada with lots to think about as we approach half-time. Mohamed Ruzin, blocked by Reinke. These are the final few throws of the first half. Ben David once again, blocked by Burke. Throwing right from the touchline, and she goes for the straighter ball. Blocked by Ben David, and quick response from Ben David. And Ben David and Burke exchanging throws. Emma Reinke. And Israel will run down the clock, knowing they have a very impressive lead. And that was a brilliant first half from Israel. They started well with an early goal, and they looked much the better side. And the main difference between the two sides, Lihi Ben David and her hat-trick of goals. And although Canada are behind, they're not yet out. They've still got 12 minutes of goalball ahead of them. But at half-time in the quarter-final, it's Canada 0, Israel 3. Canada fans in full voice. They have to be absolutely silent when the ball's in play, so taking any opportunity to make their voice heard. Their side are trailing at the moment, and as things stand, they're heading out of the competition. It's been 12 years since Canada last made the semi-finals, and they'll need something special to get past Israel. And this player, Lihi Ben David, she scored early on in the first half with a very well taken goal, and that was very much the story of the first half. This rotation throw from Ben David, squirming into the back of the net, courtesy of the forearm of Amy Burke. Canada have had their chances, and good block from Mizrahi to tip the ball onto the post. But right at the end of the first half, Ben David brought up her hat-trick and gave Israel a 3-0 cushion at the break. And there are the vital statistics. No penalties in that first half. Really good accuracy and really good discipline from both these sides. But the main statistic is the scoreline, and 3-0 to Israel at half-time. And shortly we'll be hearing from the officials about whether any substitutions were made at half-time. Looks like the same 3 for Canada. It's a consistent team. They've had the same set of 6 players for several years now. Israel also look to be unchanged, though they do have the option to bring on Ball Mizrahi later on should they need her. She looked very impressive in that first half, both attack and defence.
Canada on my left and Israel on my right. Half-time score, Canada 0, Israel 3. Israel starts with the ball. Quiet, please, center.
Canada against Israel. And Canada with work to do if they're to keep their tournament hopes alive and avoid continuing their run of... Oh, it's in off the post! And what a brilliant start to the second half for Canada. And it's Amy Burke here at her 5th Paralympic Games. And it was a bouncing ball, ricocheted in off the post, and despite Ben David sliding in, too late to keep it out. And that will be a big boost for this Canada side. And a big goal at an important time from Amy Burke. How will Israel respond through Mohamed Ruzin? Gathered by Bogart. Reinke to throw. Yet to see a goal from Emma Reinke. Not normally a sentence that we'd say. She's normally really prolific. Interesting to see how she fares in the second half. Blocked out by Burke. Goal scorer for Canada. Her children are here in Paris with her. She says it's fantastic for her children to be with her for this important occasion. Chance to show the best of visually impaired sport. And the crowd made a bit too much noise, and they're going to get a telling off from the referee. These players need to be able to hear the bounce of the ball. In fact, some of these sides who are here in Paris have been training. They've been doing drills with mobile phones going off, babies crying. Try and replicate some of the distractions that you might get on court. And Israel bringing Or Mizrahi back onto court. She looked very impressive when she was on court in the first half. Made some important blocks. And now that Israel conceded a goal, perhaps thinking need to change things a little bit. And so Mohamed Ruzin's going to make way. Used to play basketball before she turned to goalball. She said goalball's given her independence, sense of purpose. There is Whitney Bogart, Canadian centre. Plans to retire after this Paris Games. She certainly won't want to be retiring at this stage. She'll want to be representing Canada in the semi-final. But they've got a fair bit to do. Although they have made an encouraging start to the second half. Now Burke to throw. Goes cross court. Touch for Mizrahi right after she's come onto court. Wide of the post. Canada players still vocal. The Canada player Amy Burke said they don't want to be seen as nice Canadians. They want to be aggressive and they want to put fear into the opposition. And David's throw comfortably blocked. So they've totally changed their team ethos since Tokyo 2020. Even though they've got the same set of 6 players, they play in a very different way. And one of the many great sounds of this tournament is hearing the Canadian team revving themselves up. But at the moment, it's Israel that are on top. And the ball's returned to Or Mizrahi. Bit of a dummy from Ben David on the other side of court. One of the interesting elements of goalball strategy is the use of dummy throws, dummy runs. Try and confuse the opposition. Make them think the ball's coming from a different area of court. Ben David scored all 3 of Israel's goals so far. Reinke. Lots of bounce on that, but familiar sight of Mizrahi blocking from Reinke. It's the story of large parts of the first half, and Reinke not able to find a way through. Quick response from Ben David. Blocked by Burke. Can Canada rescue this? No. Because the ball went over halfway, it's called as ball over. So that means Israel will have possession. It's a big psychological boost, the ball over. And to get another chance to launch an attack. Canada with 2 ball overs to Israel 0. And Ben David got her approach to the throw a bit wrong. Her orientation was a bit off and ball going harmlessly wide of the post. Burke from centre of court, grabbed by Ben David. Up to Mizrahi, goes for the rotation throw. Tipped wide by Reinke. Mizrahi really does use all of the space that she's entitled to. She runs right up to the high ball line. Makes for some powerful shots, but it does leave you liable to conceding penalties, but Israel yet to concede any so far. Testament to their accuracy and their discipline. Reinke. Blocked by the Israeli centre, and a rare throw from her. In a side with a traditional setup like Israel, it's not that common to see the centre throw, but took her opportunity. Some goalball sides have a more attacking centre who can launch their own throws at goal, but Israel opting for Ben David. They give her the ball as much as they possibly can. Straighter ball from Amy Burke. Grabbed by Ben David, and Mizrahi working together very fluently. Referee just reminding the crowd that they need to be silent when the ball's in play. Be a bit counterintuitive if you're a goalball spectator. Normally you want to make as much noise as you can, but players need to be able to hear the bounce of the ball. Lots of bounce on that from Ben David. Now to Reinke. Israel looking pretty solid defensively after that early scare at the start of the second half. Looks like Canada shaping up to make a change. Mariam Salehazadeh warming up on the side. Ben David stumbled a bit in the run-up. Got a lot of bounce on that delivery. Now Reinke. This will be a huge win for Israel. Put them in the semi-finals for the first time after disappointments in Tokyo and Rio, where they exited at the quarter-final, and Israel extend their lead, and that place in the semi-final is looking like even more of a reality. A first goal from Or Mizrahi, and it was off the foot of Whitney Bogart, and nothing Amy Burke could do about that. 4-1, and we're almost halfway through the second half, and Israel's lead looking even more commanding. I think it's very likely we'll see a Canada change soon. They really need to change something. They've got Mariam Salehazadeh on the bench, certainly capable of scoring goals. She scored 2 in Canada's opening game. And we're having a short break in play while the court gets cleaned. These players navigate using their hands, and hands get sweaty, and so often the court can get quite slippery, so every so often the court will get cleaned, and Amy Burke heading off for Mariam Salehazadeh. Salehazadeh starts with the ball. Ball is blocked and returned, but The return is wide. Mariam Salahazadeh just arrived on court. She became a permanent resident of Canada in 2019. She's born in Iran. Sport helped her to overcome her loneliness, helped her to integrate into Canadian society. Now she's representing Canada at the highest possible stage, and an early block from Salahazadeh. Tested seconds after she came onto court. Now she's going to return the throw. And Canada finding it really hard to find a way through Mizrahi. Hard to miss with her bright purple hair, but she's looked really effective on that far wing. Now Ben David, blocked by the legs of Bogart. Canada calling for the timeout. They've got a lot to do in the final quarter of this match. They need to find some goals from somewhere. Emma Reinke yet to get on the score sheet, and they'll be hoping Mariam Salahazadeh can repeat her form she showed in the opening match, where she scored 2 goals against France. Israel, meanwhile, keen to close out this game. They brought Mizrahi back onto court. They've got their strongest 3 players on court right now. And they are within just a few minutes of a very historic win, putting them into the semi-finals for the first time. Salahazadeh goes underarm, lots of bounce on that. Well dealt with by Mizrahi. Right up to the high ball line. And it's blocked out by Salahazadeh. She claimed refugee status about 5 years ago in Canada. Said the goalball has been so important to her life and helping her find her feet in Canada. Now Ben David, she's looked a bit quiet for the past few minutes. I'm sure that will shortly change. Hat-trick so far from her. Oh, it's a perfect throw from Israel. Found the spot absolutely perfectly. And Ben David bisected the 2 Canadian players. And neither of their trailing foots could connect with the ball and keep that out. Goal number 4 for Ben David. In the European Championships last year, she was named player of the tournament. And it will be easy to see her getting a similar accolade in Paris. Reinke cross court. Blocked by Ben David. Mizrahi. Gathered by Bogart. Reinke, she's yet to find a goal in this game. She's a very talented attacking player. Ben David, lots of power on that. I think a blow to the face for Salahazadeh, but good to see she's okay. That ball is exceptionally heavy. It's 1.5 kilograms, so it can really cause a bit of a bruise. Israel making a change. We're going to see the arrival on court of Gal Hamrani. And this looks like a like-for-like change in the centre position. Ronnie Ahayon coming off. She's looked pretty rock solid in the centre position. And she's going to be replaced by Gal Hamrani. She's part of the Israel squad for 2016 and 2020, so a pretty experienced player. And they'll need to draw on that experience as they look to close out this result and secure their place in the semi-finals. Mizrahi right up to the high ball line once again. Really aggressive throwing style. Now Canada's turn to make a change. Megan Mahon coming on. And it's Whitney Bogart coming off. And that is quite an attacking change. Obviously Canada needs some goals. Defensive player for a more attacking player. Megan Mahon comes from Ontario in Canada. One of 3 members of this Canadian squad of 6 comes from Ontario. It's been a real hotbed of Canadian goalball. Ben David orientates herself on the posts. 4 goals so far from Ben David. 4 goals the deficit between these two sides. Mizrahi blocked, and Canada need to gather this before it goes over the centre line. They do, but they'll need to get their throw back into play pretty quickly. You've got 10 seconds in goalball to launch a throw. And a collective effort from Canada to keep that out. Ball in the arm of Salahazadeh. And that's called as ball over because the ball went over halfway. It's going to be Canada ball. And that, I believe, is the first ball over that Israel have conceded. Shows how well they've been retaining the ball. Ben David with the straighter ball. Blocked and gathered by Mahon, who's just come onto court. Now Renka trying from a different side. So these players wearing eye shades, so they have a different type of throw from a different side of court. It'd be really difficult to defend, and so you'll see players varying their position on court, varying their style of throw. It's all about trying to create an element of uncertainty and surprise. Ben David goes cross court. Gathered by Mahon. Looks like Israel shaping up to make another change. Ahayon's back on her feet. And as we enter these final minutes, expect to see Israel taking a bit more time with their throws, using all of their allocated 10 seconds. Can run the clock down and secure their victory. Renka putting a lot of force and energy into that. And see on her face the exertion that goes into these goalball throws. They absolutely slam the ball onto the court with real force. And these balls are pretty heavy, so it's a real physical workout. Renka blocked by the substitute Hamrani. Ben David blocked by Renka. Renka once again. It was Renka who played a huge part in the gold medal match in Santiago. Helped Canada to qualify and beat their near neighbours USA in the process. USA not part of this women's competition. It was a bit of a shock in the goalball world, and Canada did exceptionally well to get here, but as things stand, they're heading out. And Canada take a timeout, chance to talk a bit of strategy, think about where those goals are going to come from. Israel, meanwhile, don't be surprised if you start to see them clinging onto the ball. running down the clock. You might even see some defensive changes to try and shore things up. Megan May on the number 4 just arrived on court. She said the Canadian team really wasn't happy with how Tokyo went. They've put in huge amounts of work over the past few years. Much of that work on their defensive performance. They have conceded a few here. It's been quite uncharacteristic for them. Only conceded 2 goals in the whole of the group stage. Currently 4 goals behind, and slower ball from Israel. Very nearly confounded Emma-Renka. Salahazadeh to throw. Looks like Israel about to make a change. Noah Malka, number 2. Yet to appear on court today. Chance to give her a bit of court time with the match looking more or less secure. Mizrahi, she's looked absolutely excellent today in both defence and attack. Made some really important blocks. Ben David trying from a different side of court. Rinka does well. You really do use all parts of your body in goalball to keep the ball out. Israel making a change. They know the place in the semi-final is theirs. And a bit of court time for Noah Malka, one of the youngest members of the Israel squad. She was second top scorer in the European Para-Youth Games. A chance for her to play on the biggest stage of all. Just over 1 minute left. Or Mizrahi heading off, perhaps being rested for the semi-final. Ben David to throw. She's been on court for the entirety of this match. She's been right in the thick of things. Now Canada's turn to make a change. Amy Burke coming on. Most experienced member of this Canadian side in her 5th Paralympic Games. I wonder if we might see Whitney Bogart. She said she'd retire after Paris 2024. I wonder if we'll see some kind of gesture from her. Fantastic goalball career, part of this team since 2005. I wonder if we'll see some kind of recognition of that from Trent Fairbrother or her Canadian teammates. And with that throw going wide, Israel know the win is theirs. First throw for Noah Malka. Interesting, you heard Emma-Renka say blocked out as soon as the ball hit her fingertips. Fantastic positional awareness that these players have. If you speak to these fantastic athletes, they tell you they can visualize exactly where they are on the court, where the ball is coming from. They have a really good sense of where their teammates are and where the opposition are launching attacks from. Ben David very much been the hero of this match. 4 goals to her name. Malka. And it looks like the final throw of this match will belong to Canada. put in a real effort. Hasn't gone their way today, but they've showed a lot of fight, a lot of determination. And it's third time lucky for Israel. They were knocked out in the quarterfinals in Tokyo, quarterfinals in Rio. But this time, they've made it to the semi-finals. And that is a huge moment for Israeli goalball. Disappointment for Canada. They put on a strong showing today, but their wait for a place in the semi-finals continues. And a brilliant performance from Israel. Lihi Ben David contributing 4 goals. And they will be tough opponents in the semi-final. And maybe they can start to dream of a place on the podium. And the final score in this quarter-final as Israel take the plaudits that they so richly deserve. Canada 1, Israel 5. It's been a long road for Canada since the disappointment of Tokyo. And they have worked so hard, but just fallen short today. And it might be the final time that Whitney Bogart appears on court for Canada. And what a fantastic record of service to Canadian goalball she has given.
Please join us in celebrating the thoughts and contributions of our athletes.
Lovely to see the warmth and the generosity between these two sides. They were tough adversaries on court, but they end the match in the most sporting of ways. And Canada can still smile. They know how far they've come since their last appearance at the Paralympics. But today, Israel just too strong. Final score, Canada 1, Israel 5.
Nous espérons que vous avez apprécié cette session. Un grand merci pour votre participation aux Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024. La prochaine session de goalball aura lieu ici à la South Paris Arena 6 ce soir avec 2 autres matchs de quart de finale féminin.
Canadian flag still flying at the South Paris Arena. And the fans have been brilliant right across this goalball competition. It's a unique sport in which to be a spectator. Got to stay absolutely silent while the ball's in play. But these fans have been brilliant, and here is the game that they've witnessed today. Israel winning by 5 goals to 1. No penalties from either side. Something both sides will be very pleased about. Fantastic accuracy during a very tough encounter.
Turkey and Republic of Korea at 7:45 p.m.
And the first of our semi-finals are now complete. People's Republic of China playing Israel. And that will be a very interesting clash. 2 very high-quality sides and 2 fantastic goal scorers in the form of Lihi Ben David and Yang Mengwan for China.
On-site sales outlets. The merchandise store is still open. It's now or never.
Thank you very much for joining us. Fantastic match in the quarterfinal between Canada and Israel. In the end, Israel just too strong, and they win by 5 goals to 1. 2 brilliant quarterfinals at the South Paris Arena as these knockout stages start with a bang on the women's side. And if it's your first time experiencing goalball, really hope you've enjoyed it. And do be sure to check out more goalball and more parasport over the course of Paris 2024.
The Paris 2024 organizing committee would like to thank all volunteers for their time and dedication toward making the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games a success.